What's up, guys? It's your boy, Still Needs an Intro, and today we've received more mail because I don't know how to stop spending money. I think you've kind of picked up on what this is. There we are. Now, before we get started on this install, let's get a quick sound clip of the factory airbox, and then we'll pull the nose of the car into the garage. Alright, now to start this off, we're going to go ahead and pop off the custom engine cover that we have, but you're just going to pop off your engine cover. And we will set her off to the side. And these look like they're going to be 5/16, which is the same as 8 millimeters, or you could just get a flathead screwdriver. We're going to take off the intake tube first. Before we go too far, we're going to disconnect this. This is the air temperature sensor. So you're going to pull this part right here out, and then you have to gently pull this out of the hole. Now you got to be really careful because this is actually really fragile. I decided against myself, and I'm just going to do this in 2 parts rather than 1. So I'm going to take this plug off first, and then I will take this part off after I get the intake tube taken off. So in theory, this should just pull right off of here, yes, to show the throttle body, which is right there. And then we're gonna twist this part and kind of give her a wiggle back and forth. And then that part comes right off. We will set this in order of like when we take them off. Next, just so we don't get anything in the way, we're just going to kind of tuck this back off to the side so that that doesn't get pinched or anything. Now we're going to try and take off this breather hose like so. And again, we're just going to put it off to the side. So this bolt right here is going to be a 10 millimeter, but what we're going to do first is actually pinch these so that they come undone. So we can lift that out of the way, set it in our parts pile. Now this looks like this air filter is getting to be pretty far along. So it was about time for a filter change anyway. And right there you can see the purpose of the air filter, which is to not suck in all of this stuff, like all around here and then so we'll get a 10 millimeter socket and undo this, and then we will pull this bottom part out. We'll just go ahead and loosen this by finger the rest of the way. So this is what the bolt looks like when you pull it out. We'll set this right here, and then the bottom part should just come right out like this. So that is how to successfully remove your factory air box. Next is going to be putting in this beauty. So we're just going to kind of reverse the order here. So we're going to put this in first. I know I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but I got the sensor out in order to put it in the new intake tube. Now the best way to put these back in is get your finger a little wet, whether it be saliva or just water or something. Then you simply just try and twist it and put it back in the new one. And it fits in there nice and snug. It's perfect. Next, we're going to take this end of the intake tube. We'll put her in there like that, while at the same time we can take this end of the intake tube and put it over the throttle body. It's a little difficult to do with one hand, but it just slips on there like so, and you make sure that that is in line with the box. Alright, next we're just going to snug up all of these hose clamps around the throttle body. We're not going to make it super tight just in case we still need to move it back and forth. Like right there, you can see there's a little bit of a gap. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to make our finger a little wet. Just kind of move around the lip of this a little bit, so that when we slip it in here, it should just pull it right into place like so. And then we will go and tighten that hose clamp right there. And last but not least, here comes the fun part. So we will try and make sure that this hose clamp here is still facing the same direction as all the other ones, because we want it to look nice and pretty underneath the engine bay when we open it. Make sure it's nice and square on there. Make sure the hose clamp is in the right position, and we will start to tighten the hose clamp down. So you make sure it won't twist. It only moves back and forth a little bit. And before we forget, here's the breather hose. The breather hose is attached. And last but not least, we have the harness. You can see that the harness is actually oriented this way now, and we don't really want that. We kind of want this straight up and down. Make it a little easier on us. And then you just wait for it to click, and you push that forward. And that is a cold air intake. So let's get a quick start on it, and we'll see how it sounds. When this was sent to me, I was missing a little bit of hardware, so I'm gonna run to the hardware store really quick. There's a hole down through here that this mount goes in so that everything stays in place. But so far I love the sound of this thing. What I got is a bolt, 2 washers, a lock washer, and a nut. So it's going to go in there like this, right through this hole here is the existing hole, and we're just going to bolt up the bracket. So I'm going to put the bolt and the top washer through, and then on the bottom side I'm going to put the nut, the lock washer, and the other washer. Alright, got the bolts in place, and I definitely got it on my first try, and there definitely aren't 30 outtake videos in my deleted camera roll. But you can see that the housing around the air intake is super sturdy. The only thing that's a little bit of a problem is there's not a brace on the backside of it. So the backside is a little loose, but it's also going to be up against here, so it won't move around once I'm driving. So now we're going to go through and retighten all of these hose clamps. And then after you drive for a little while, so give it like another day or two, go through and retighten everything one more time. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and share. If you'd consider subscribing, click over here. If you want to see what YouTube recommends you watch next, click over here. And as always, I look forward to seeing you guys next time.